He did mix it up, yeah. No Chris Merry, no sign of him neither. And I thought against Colchester, both Merry and Morris had poor games, like really poor games. And I don't think you could play in a side that's struggling. And both Hendry and Merry in the middle of the park. I mean, they got properly bullied against Colchester. They were sort of, they were outcompeted physically. Couldn't get on the ball. So I think it was wise to change it up. I thought Brad Walker yesterday had a very good game. He doesn't look quite match fit, and he struggled a little bit towards the end. But he had a very good game for me yesterday in the middle of that park, because he's a big guy, and he brought some kind of strength to a position where we were as soft as anything last week at Colchester, and ruthlessly exploited because of that. Mackley did okay. Again, he's not a small guy. He's physically strong. So I think beefing that up was sensible. It surprised a lot of people. A lot of people I was with at the game yesterday were a little bit aghast at the, wow, he's made some big changes. What's happening here? But the first half performance was pretty good. I mean, we're pretty solid. Obviously scored early on again at Crawley, as we did last year, but were worthy of it, really. I think we looked a lot more solid in and out of position. I think we still got problems with the dealing with fast, pacey, and skillful wing backs and wingers. I mean, we were on the back foot most of the game, and particularly the second half. Yesterday, their left winger was man of the match by a mile. And we really struggled to deal with that. So some of the old failings that we've seen in games before, Salford was one, Colchester absolutely, of not being able to deal with wing backs, came second half again, as we started to sort of shrink back into ourselves as the game went on. But I think that's, it's a team that's used to losing at the minute, and that needs to change. And I think Nigel will definitely get that mindset change. But as the game went on and we just sat deeper and deeper, and if you see the sort of the last two goals Crawley scored against us yesterday, they just had so much free, unchallenged possession that and the ball ended up in the back of the net. But you could see that as the game went on, the confidence seemed to be ebbing a little bit in the team, that hey, we can hang on and get a point or even win this.
Let's talk about the goals conceded then. Just because you've mentioned them there. I think the second goal is one of the most defensively shocking goals I've ever seen a Tranmere side concede. It is, and I don't like using words like this, but it is a disgrace that ball ends up in the back of the net. The amount of players who could have either A, stopped the ball getting into the box, or B, just got themselves in the way of the player having the shot, and none of them really make an effort to do so. It is utterly appalling, even more so when you consider they've just gone 2-1 up. And I look at McGee in the goal, and I think he's motionless. And I don't want to put myself in his head, but I think that's because he's absolutely flabbergasted that the lad's been allowed to get anywhere near the ball for the shot in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, McGee's been brilliant for us from day one, and I really feel sorry for the fact that he's not had a clean sheet. He's conceded 15 in league games this season. He does not deserve that at all, because he's the best keeper I think we've had since probably Eric Nixon days, and I think many of the fans can see how good he is and how much he cares. And he schools that back line well, but they let him down. The second goal was embarrassing. You're absolutely right. It was like, where's the defense gone? Where's the aggression in the challenge? And we saw that with the third goal as well, where their player was allowed to just waltz across the edge of the box unchallenged. And we are in a relegation fight now, and fight is the word that we need to start pushing into the players' heads. Is they've got to fight. And there was no challenge. There was no like, we're going to stop this player, trying to, waltz across our box. It was mental, and that's got to stop. And I think the defense has been hugely underperforming for all season. And that centre back pairing of Turnbull and Davis is, it doesn't look solid or strong at all at the minute. And we saw it again at this game, nowhere near to the extent that Colchester were. Time after time, Colchester managed to get past our fullbacks to the byline and cut the ball back across. I mean, we could have lost that game 4 or 5-0 if it wasn't for McGee last week. But we saw it again this week, yesterday, where Crawley on occasion were able to do that, get into the box, get to the byline, and pull the ball back. So, I agree with you. The second goal particularly was they'll be cringing when they watch that back on Monday.